Again, and this, okay, I'm ready. Got this trip trained again, and we're going to do the engine compartment test. The basic things you have to say. The first thing you want to talk about is all the fluids. Windshield wiper fluid is blue on that side. The coolant is, usually like red or burgundy on this side. Power steering, transmission. First thing you want to do is grab the oil stick. You're just going to talk about it. Pull it out, wipe it off, put it back in, pull it back out. It should be between add and full. The coolant reservoir and the power steering, they're securely mounted. It's not cracked, it's not leaking. And that's it for the fluids. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the suspension system. From the steering wheel to the rod shaft, to the gearbox, to the pitman arm, to the drag link, to the tire rod. That's that rod that goes from this tire all the way to the other side. They all are securely mounted. All of these things are properly greased. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, and there's no missing bolts or cotter pins. I'm just pointing to where the yellow is, cotter pins, okay? And that's it for the suspension, for the steering system. For the suspension system, we have the spring mount in the front, spring mount in the rear. I'm just pointing to it. All the leaf springs that are connected, the U-bolts that wraps around it, and the shock absorber, okay? Everything is securely mounted. There's no missing bolts, it's not cracked, bent, or broken, and the leaf springs are not shifted, and there's no missing leaf spring, okay? That's all you have to say for the suspension system. Then you're gonna go to the braking system. It's right here next to the tire. This is the brake line. It has two fittings, one here, one there. Inside here, you just point to it and say, the lining and the drum, there are no contaminants or debris on the inside of the lining and the drum, okay? Then you want to talk about the tire. The tire, everything with rubber, you want to say there's no abrasions, bruises, or abrasions, bumps, or cuts. The tread is evenly worn. If you use the tire gauge, you want to measure 4/32 in the front and 2/32 in the rear. There's no abrasions, bruises, or cuts on the sidewalls, on the inner or the outer. Then we're going to talk about the rim. The rim, it's not rusted, it's not cracked, bent, or broken. All of my studs, you just want to point to them, my studs and my lug nuts are all present. Not cracked, bent, or broken. There are no shiny threads indicating loose lug nuts or rust trails that may come out. Then you want to talk about the valve stem. It's accessible, it has a cap on it. If I want to use air, I will use the air gauge to put air in it. The same way I would talk about this tire, I will talk about all the other three tires. And the final thing you want to say is all of my rubber hoses from this side to the other side are properly mounted. There are no pinhole leaks. And all of my other wiring, it's not frayed. Everything is secured and in place. The same way I would check this side, I would check the other side. And this concludes the engine compartment test. Thank you.